If you are able to give a contribution via Super Thanks, as well as help grow my channel, Super Chat is below. Frances Bean Cobain was born in 1992, a few months after her famous parents, Nirvana frontman Kurt Cobain and Hole lead singer Courtney Love, married. Lovers of their music would remember that the all-time favorite rock legend, Kurt, passed away 2 years after becoming a father, leaving his young wife and only child big shoes to fill. Despite his achievements, his daughter only grew to appreciate his long-lasting legacy and did not toe the same career path. Frances became a visual artist, model, and producer, who worked on the documentary Montage of Heck based on Kurt's life. In 2014, 30 years after the passing of her dad, Cobain married a musician by the name of Isaiah Silva. Silva is the frontman for band The Eries. In 2014, the band released an EP, Cool Kid. Their song was played on KROQ, a famous LA radio station, and the crew was signed to Interscope Records. They also performed on Late Night with Seth Meyers. Although this group is yet to witness mainstream success, its Instagram page shows they still have loyal fans. According to their videos and pictures, they have performed on various stages and have even toured some states. Besides his music career, Silva is also a father to a daughter named Arlo. He shares custody with her mother, Jessica Sullivan. Silva and Frances dated for 5 years before their wedding ceremony. Sources confirm that Frances planned it for a year and eventually narrowed her guests down to 13 to 15. Shockingly, the invited persons did not include her mom, Courtney Love. The source added that Love was happy for her child when they spoke after the event. Contrary to what many would have thought, the daughter and mother were in a good place in their relationship. However, Frances's marriage did not last long. In March 2016, she filed for divorce from her husband. The following year, she was declared single by the court. Following the end of their marriage, the pair engaged in a bitter lawsuit. Frances accused her ex-husband of being abusive and she wanted them to go away. She also requested that the money from her father's estate, estimated at $450 million, remain in the family. The document stated that every premarital asset should be in Frances's possession, awarded to her as separate property. While it would have been a victory for Kurt's only child, as her former husband had no share in her dad's estate, she had to part with a family heirloom, a 1959 Martin D180 acoustic guitar that belonged to Kurt Cobain and was played by the Nirvana frontman at their famous MTV Unplugged show. Silva alleged that Frances gave him her dad's customized guitar worth millions as a gift during their marriage. He maintained that he owned the property, and eventually the court granted them ownership. Close sources to the family stated that Frances forfeited her late father's guitar to Isaiah in hopes he would just go away, following years of psychological, substance, and emotional abuse. Isaiah Silva has been described as obsessed with the dead, and that he is obsessed with Kurt Cobain, and has gone as far as dressing like him and trying to behave like him. Silva then shockingly filed a lawsuit stating that on June 3, 2016, several men, including actor Ross Butler and another man, Jan Yuchtman, acting at her behest, broke into his home, pretending to be police officers. The suit says Silva was dragged from his West Hollywood home and bundled into a car, but was saved from what he claims would have been his murder by a visiting friend who blocked the vehicle and called the real cops. Silva claimed in the court documents that Love ordered this crew to scare him into giving up Kurt Cobain's guitar, played on Nirvana's MTV Unplugged. The guitar seemingly passed to Frances Bean Cobain, daughter of Love and Kurt, after the untimely death of the grunge icon, and formed part of the divorce battle when Bean Cobain and Silva split. Courtney Love had always maintained that she was not involved with the alleged events at Silva's home. "I never conspired with anyone else to murder or kidnap Silva or take possession of the guitar," Love said in a related court case. The transcript of the 911 call was released, and I'm going to read it now. "Someone broke into my friend's house," Isaiah's friend opens the call. "They got 3 big old guys, and I'm freaking out. They just busted in the house. The alarm went off. They were threatening him." He shares with the operator the home's address and explains that the residence belongs to Bean Cobain. Later in the call, the friend says the intruders claim to be police officers, and that they said they told him to get the fuck out of the house, while they forced Silva into a black SUV parked outside. Isaiah's friend attempted to block their path with his Toyota Matrix and ultimately confronted the individuals in the SUV to notify them that the police were coming. Silva's response was, "I'm fine," and Sam Lutfi's response, "We're on his side, Phil," were both apparently audible in the 911 call and included in the transcript. Silva's lawsuit describes Frances Bean Cobain's struggle with drugs, accusing Lutfi of exploiting the addiction he encouraged and fueled in order to manipulate her. In one alarming passage, the suit recounts a November 2014 incident when Cobain allegedly experienced a convulsive seizure and appeared to stop breathing, but was revived after Silva performed CPR. Francis Bean is sober now, writing, "The fact that I'm sober isn't really public knowledge, decidedly and deliberately, but I think it's more important to put aside my fear about being judged or misunderstood, or typecast as one specific thing." Silva claims that Sam Lutfi, who was the manager for Courtney Love, forcibly confined him for over 5 hours inside the house, during which time he says Lutfi threatened him and his family in an attempt to force him to sign an agreement relinquishing Cobain's guitar and any claims to the residence, spousal support, or Cobain's trust. In his own declaration, Butler admitted visiting Silva's house on the day in question, and that police arrived on scene, but denied committing any crimes, and described the incident as calm and an uneventful exchange. Lawyers for Love maintain that Silva made various admissions that undermined his entire case. In a sworn declaration, Love stated that she was not involved with the events that allegedly happened at Silva's home, and that she did not speak with Lutfi or anyone else beforehand. Love and Silva settled the case out of court, and I've tried to find what Silva is doing these days, but turned up nothing. Looking back over this case, I honestly don't think it holds water. Isaiah Silva described this kidnapping almost out of some sort of action movie, and it just doesn't seem like he was in the right headspace, and I just don't think it happened that way. I don't know if the case was dismissed or if Isaiah Silva dropped his lawsuit, which led to Courtney Love dealing with it outside of court. They settled. They reached some sort of settlement that is unknown to the public. But I don't personally think that this actually transpired. I think maybe it was not a calm exchange, but it wasn't as dramatic as Isaiah Silva made it out to be. I'm not claiming to know what happened. I'm just trying to report what happened and make a video about it. And that's it for today. If you guys know any more information about this case or anything else I should be aware of, please put it in the comments below.